A girl went into marriage because the parents were thinking that when she gets married, it will reduce the economic level will improve. And unfortunately, the girl went and got married. And after she had 3 kids, the husband divorced her, and she came back home herself with those 3 kids. And the mother was now telling the husband, the father of the girl, that we sent one and we got 4. So if for any reason you have allowed her to continue her schooling, she wouldn't have even gotten married and wouldn't have even have any child now. So now our burden has increased because the husband said she should go with the children. So you see, the burden is greater on the girl's family than when she was alone. My name is Habiba Mohammed, and I'm the director of Center for Girls Education in Zaria, Kaduna State. And we work in Bauchi, Gombe, and Sokoto State. We support girls to go to school by providing them with safe state methodology. Well, in northern Nigeria, mostly there are challenges that push parents to marry their children off early. So most of those challenges include poverty and lack of quality in education, because sometimes if parents feel that their children are not learning, they just decide to get them married off. For us, our strategy to keep girls out of early marriage is to provide them with intensive literacy and numeracy where they will learn in our safe spaces, and we provide them with different life skills like understanding they have self-esteem, negotiation skills, on gender-based violence, girls being confident and being able to negotiate with their parents on what they want for their life. So we support them to stay in school and do better in school so that they will delay the age of their marriage. And the research conducted by our center suggested that when girls stay in school, they are likely to extend their time of marriage with 2.5 years, because when they stay longer in school, naturally it delays age of marriage. And most of the consequences of age of marriage is that there are issues of maternal mortality and morbidity. Girls don't know how to take care of themselves during pregnancy, and they end up dying at childbirth or losing the baby at childbirth or losing both the mother and child. And for those that are able to give birth successfully, you find out that their children are malnourished, they too are malnourished, they cannot look after themselves, and sometimes they end up being divorced by the husband because the husband now sees them as a liability on him. So those are some of the problems that we have. There is no official age, but it's mostly the physical growth of the child. If a child is smallish in nature, she can even get to 18 years without her being married out. But if a child at 12, she has already grown up and physically she has grown, all the puberty signs have appeared, it's a sign that the parents will say she's ready for marriage. But our research still shows that the median age of marriage is 14.9. So most girls can be married before then, but mostly by when they are 14, 15, you find out that they are already married. Before our intervention in most of the community, the passive sign of a girl saying yes to her marriage is when she keeps quiet and doesn't say anything. But most of our community, our girls are able to tell their parents that yes, I want to go into this marriage, or no, I don't want to go into this marriage. And they say it in a respectful way, which the culture agrees with. Tell the parents that they need to be included in making decisions about their lives. Me, the worst case is that has ever happened is one that a girl was forced into marriage, and the day they took her to the husband's house, she ran back home, and the parents forced her back to the husband's house, and they had to ask the man to relocate and leave the community, because if she sees girls that are mates that are still going to school and the fifth is that the girl will not assent to the marriage. And at the end, the husband has to divorce the girl so that she will continue her schooling. Although the parents were very bitter about it, but eventually they allowed her to continue school. We have had cases to lessen poverty level because the groom-to-be will bring things to the bride-to-be house, and then he will pay the dowry and he will give the parents some form of financial assistance, which to me is what is making some of the parents want to give the girl out. They will say the man is very good since he is able to cater for the family of the wife to be. For poverty, I know that we have so many of those. If a girl is educated, she increases the economic circle of her family and move them a little bit out of the poverty circle. But with the issue of early marriage, it's like a circle that goes round and round. A girl that is not educated does not care whether her child gets education or not. But if it were the other way around, a girl that is educated will make sure that her children are educated too. So it really affects the economy because the earning ability of girls have been disrupted, and so they are not adding any value to the economy of their family. From my work at the community level, there are so many problems. There was an interview our center conducted where a woman sent her first daughter to school and refused to send the second. When she was asked why, she said, I sent my first daughter through school for 6 years and she cannot read a word. I will not send my second daughter because to me it is a waste of time for her to spend 6 years without being able to read and write. So you see, quality in education matters a lot. When there is school and students are going to school and they are not learning anything, then it means the parents are not seeing any value in allowing the children to go to school. Apart from issue of quality in education, there is this issue of gender-based violence where children are abused. And people feel that a girl that has reached puberty, it is better for her to go to her husband's house and for one man to be the one that sleeps with her as a wife than to allow her to undergo different types of gender-based violence where she may contact different types of diseases or be molested and made to undergo depression and the like. So it's like they are trying to protect their children. That is why some of them are given the reason that they married children off early. I think if in schools we have trained teachers that are given the best in education and parents are seeing that their children are learning in school, they will allow their children to continue school. That is one. And when there is safety, people will be less scared or afraid for their children. But now it's just too much. Instead of even what we're thinking of gender-based violence, you can see what is happening now with the kidnapping and the rest. So it's putting families in danger. And so people are afraid. And I mean that when there is any case of gender-based violence, those perpetrators are not even given the judgment that they deserve. You find them walking the streets of the communities as if they did not do anything bad. So all these are contributing factors. If there is assurance of safety and if there is quality in education, I think many of the community people will allow their children to stay longer before getting married. It is a very serious issue that if the government does not come in, then issues of maternal mortality, issues of child morbidity, issues of so many crimes will be happening everywhere. So government need to make sure that the Child Rights Act is signed in every state so that people will know that child marriage is a crime. So they should not indulge their children in child marriage. They should allow them to grow, and then at the time of growing, they should engage these children on a productive activity. For example, going to school and learning or learning vocations that will support them to move out of poverty.